Okay, once again, I welcome all the participants for 3 days online faculty development program on innovative teaching learning methods. Session 1 titled Need and Challenges of Innovative Methods of Teaching. The resource person for this session is Dr. Prafulla Hatte. Let me introduce Dr. Prafulla Hatte to all the participants. He is working as Dean, School of Mechanical and Civil Engineering with MIT Academy of Engineering, Alandi, Pune. He has 8 years of industrial experience and more than 19 years teaching experience. He is awarded as International Teacher and Trainer by Cambridge University. He has also worked as consultant for L&T, MAN Trucks, Force Motors, Kinetic Engineering, BHEL, etc. He has conducted more than 100 training sessions and worked as master trainer for Wipro Technologies, Bengaluru. He has also conducted more than 50 workshops for Pradhan Mantri Entrepreneurship Growth Program. His area of expertise are CNC, tooling, manufacturing, entrepreneurship development, and professional skills. He has published 15 research papers in international journals. He also has 7 patents to his credit. With this preamble, I would like to welcome our resource person, Dr. Prafulla Hatte, for the first session. Over to you, sir. I request Gogre sir to make Hatte sir presenter.
Yes, sir. I have already made presenter.
Yes, sir, it is presenter now.
Okay.
So a big namaste and a very good morning to all the participants. As per the tradition of online learning, I'm asking you a very first question. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir, you are audible.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And I
Yes.
hope that the organizers have disabled chat option. So if it is possible, then we can have a chat so that all the participants can interact with each other. And now the second question which we will ask in our session. So is my presentation visible to all of you?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you for being honest because I have not yet shared my PPT. So I'm about to share it. I'm just checking whether everybody is starting.
Sir, volume
My attention
increase a
is
little
also
bit
very important.
helpful.
So you find that my volume is less?
Slightly.
Slightly.
This will help us
Okay.
to get the sound.
I think now the
Yes, sir.
PPT is
Now it's-
visible to you.
Yes.
Great. Sir. Am I audible to you now clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. So once again, a very great morning. This is indeed a great morning for me to be over here, and getting a chance for me is a big honor for me to share few thoughts related to innovative methods of teaching, the needs and challenges. So this is the topic which is given to me in this FDP for 3 days, and I have been assigned a task of Rohit Sharma. So opening batsman. So feeling great. So as per my ways, I'm starting with the ground rules. So I'm requesting all to follow the ground rules. I have shared one Google form, and through Google form, I came to know that 50% of participants are having more than 10 years of experience. So you are quite experienced. More than 50% of you are already using some online tools for innovative teaching. So considering the same, the ground rules are possibly keep your cameras on. We definitely would like to see each other. You can keep your mic muted if you're not talking. But definitely, whenever you would like to talk in between, the forum is yours. So I don't know about the chat box, but if the chat box is enabled, then you can have your questions and suggestions flowing on during the entire session. I request the organizers to keep me helping because I'm using MS Teams, so I'm not able to see what is going on the other side of the screen. So be participating. इसका सिंपल सा मीनिंग ये है कि if somebody is thinking कि कोई आज बाबा जी आएंगे, उनका प्रवचन होगा, तो हम आराम से WhatsApp, Facebook कर सकते हैं, तो बिल्कुल नहीं. This is all मिथ्या. So I'm not at all going to allow you to sit idle. तो आज बहुत कुछ होने वाला है. I'm going to ask questions to you. I'm going to involve you. There are so many things which will be flowing up. So be participative. अगर आपको लगता है कि something is more important than the FDP, then that something is that you have to do rather than attending it. I'm thankful to you because most of you have shown, 83% of the participants have shown the interest that you would like to learn something new. So great for that. So keep writing material with you. I will ask you to write something on it. Okay. At the background, I am listening to some disturbances in audio. So somebody's mic is on. So I'll be thankful if you can mute your mic. Great. So that's it. We start with the opening bowling now. Opening bowling in the first ball. Well, I hope this picture is visible and you find something on this picture. So I will allow you to look at this picture for some time and have your reflection on it. So you can unmute, you can talk with me. The teacher is saying, I'm sure my lecture has made you think. So teacher is very happy and look at the students. So many question mark, exclamatory mark, what a bore, and so many. Somebody is sleeping, somebody is saying, I stopped listening after 5 minutes. So anybody would like to reflect?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Teacher is basically teaching here, but are the students are learning? It's a big question.
Oh, yes, surely. So teacher is teaching, but not very sure that students are learning or not. So what can be possible reasons?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
As per teachers, the lecture went very well. But
Okay.
while coming to students, sir, are at different levels. Some are got and some of them missed. Some of them got at a normal level the knowledge. Some felt bored. So it's very difficult to give 100% knowledge dissemination to all levels of students. But some level, maybe 70%, 60% of the students should be satisfied. That should be our main objective. And then we should pose some questions where they can think and then come with a new solution in the next class.
Great. Thank you very much for your inputs. Anybody else would like to comment? Yes,
Hello,
please.
sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hello. Sir, it seems to be a one-way communication and there is nothing interactive because the board seems to be blank.
Oh, yes. So one-way interaction, great. Yes, please.
Sir, there is a slight disconnect between the teacher and the students. The students are thinking on different wavelengths, and the teacher is thinking that everything is going all right.
I'm Vidisha. It seems to be like the teacher, even as the picture depicts, it is nothing is written on the board. So it means everything is going verbal only. So just only verbal, no visual interaction, no connection between the student and the teacher. So that's why almost it is the boring class for all the students. Even in fact, the few are not getting what the teacher is want to explain. It seems like that.
Correct.
This is one more thing is attention span. It is a bit not considered. So attention span of student is very less. So that may be one of the points that students got bored because it was not happening lecture.
Yes, very true.
Sir, may I add one thing?
Yes, sir.
in the picture, the one student, he's saying that what a bore, and in front of that there is a laptop. So maybe the student wants more technology friendly teaching than simply a black and white board. That is what it is.
So might be, this is right. So might be some technology is required, might be activities are required. Otherwise, if the teacher is doing blah, 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 only words, student will feel, okay, what a bore, isn't it? Great. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
One more thing I just want to add for looking to this picture, that
Okay.
teacher has not created any interest in the student, and that's why this thing we are looking this picture.
Yes, exactly said. So teacher has not created any interest, so might be this thing has happened. So in the meantime, I'm just writing something on a board. So there's a teacher, and the teacher is disseminating knowledge which we presume that yes, we deliver knowledge. In fact, there's a big question mark behind it, but still we assume that there's a knowledge which is getting disseminated from the teacher to the students. So how many number of students? Students can be 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. Don't you think that this process is very complicated? Because a teacher is learning on him or himself first and then disseminating the knowledge. So it is something that transferring the data from one source to the other receiver. Those who are from computer, IT background or electronics, E&DC background, they can understand the importance of this data transfer. So we take care of so many things. So we take care of transmitters, receivers, data communication channels, baud rate, frequency, amplitude, errors, debugging, ADC, antennas. So many things we take care while transferring this data from one to other. So in a complex process of teaching, yes, definitely as a teacher, we have to take care of so many things. Then only the teaching will become very innovative, very impactful, and very action-packed. So I was listening very patiently to the inaugural session, and in inaugural session, Professor Balachandra Puranik sir was talking about why we are here as a teacher. So that question we should ask ourselves every day. It is not because I have some profession, that is why I'm a teacher. No, it's not like that. Our role is a bigger role, and we are in fact the pillars of the society. So we are actually creating those engineers who are going to create this society. So our role is a very, very big role. So in this context, our sessions must be very, very action-packed, very, very powerful, and so many things should be there in the session. So what are actually your expectations? How do you like your sessions to be? You have to write one word, as might be you want your session to be action-packed, powerful, impactful, short, quick, happy, delightful. Whatever you find as a one word, you have to click this QR code, or you can go to menti.com and use the code 12821035, or you can have this link to go to voting for this particular session. Please understand the question. The question is, how would you like your session to be? आपका खुद का session कैसा होना चाहिए? Whether you would like it to be a powerful, impactful, good, better, excellent, best, short, quick, lengthy, informative, knowledgeful, जो भी, whatever word you find your lecture to be or your session to be, please write that. You can vote as many number of times as possible. So please vote it. I hope that most of you are using QR code scanner. And I'm just shifting my attention to this. Okay, so I'm getting few answers over here, which I'm presenting. So whatever you type over here, I'm getting the answers. Interesting, impactful, collaborative, good, informative, then powerful, excellent, impactful, encouraging. Good, keep writing.
Sir, please show the. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please
I have
show the
difficulty in
QR
QR code. Can I say by words?
Yes.
You can, sir. If you are not able to.
I would like to be my session to be well responded.
Okay, great. I'm happy for getting this answer. So this is
well
the desire of.
And well responded.
Great. And I am feeling happy that I'm finding that my session is very responding. So people are responding very fast. Thank you for this innovative answer and very important answer.
Well received and well responded, I'm saying.
Yes, well received and well responded. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Sir,
Yes.
actually, I also am having a problem. I'd like to add. Sir, I think my session should be like full of questions. Should be like there should be more questions session.
Great. So those participants who have still not installed QR code is very simple app. So you will find that there are few more questions to come in the session, and it will be a quick one, saving the time. Otherwise, you can go to menti.com and use the code. So the last answer which I received was your session should be full of questions. So thank you very much for that. Let us go to this. This is called as word cloud, a cloud of words. And I am not creating this. You are creating this word cloud. Thank you for sharing so many keywords. This is what we want. Creative, engaging, constructive, enjoying, smiles on the faces. Itna important hai. Agar our students will smile, isn't it? Self-satisfying, full of energy, knowledgeful, full of interactions, delightful. So many words. Thank you.
Sir,
collaborative. Yes, please.
But I have objection in this word cloud. Interactive shows more. It should be more interactive between the teacher in the class. But especially in the online classes, as students are located in their respective homes, so if we ask them to open their mics and then doing interaction, so generally we used to hear a lot of disturbance like Bendilo, Alulo, Sabjilo. In Delhi, we generally get a lot of disturbance like that when we are conducting online classes. So in those cases, we should be very specific.
Of course. Sir, there are so many questions like this because this is a challenge which everybody is observing. So we definitely have some session in today's 1.5 hours where we will be talking about the ways to overcome the daily problems. Yes, I do understand. I would like to give you a quick hard and fast solution that there are typically few students where such disturbances are there. So interactive means you cannot keep the entire session 1 hour for complete interaction. Give some intervals, few seconds to few minutes for interaction, and in the remaining time keep the learners busy. I have kept you busy, and that is the reason why we are seeing this word cloud. So at the same time I'm interacting with you, I have kept you busy. Everybody is busy because everybody is clicking and giving the answer. So have it. This is a menti.com or Mentimeter website. Most of you might have used it. Those who have not used it, this is a very powerful tool, and I'm going to demonstrate this tool to you in this session. Of course, there are many other tools which will be demonstrated tomorrow. My role is not today to demonstrate the tools. So thank you very much for this. I'm just going out of this now. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Moving now into the presentation. Okay. So you have given the answer to this. But when we say teaching, then there's a big myth behind teaching. So when we say teaching, I learn something or I read a book. Devnesh sir was talking about that we read the book overnight and then we deliver. So Devnesh sir, you are absolutely right. This is what we also observe with most of the faculty members. But teaching is not like transferring of data from my mind to the other mind, but it is also creating that impact of learning. So learning is more important than teaching. So how do we look at it, teaching in the present context? So teaching, I have tried to give you some different kind of a version of teaching. So teaching is not definitely write something on a board or show a PPT and then go on explaining. Definitely not. So teaching is first, what is this? Targeting your instructions for what? For not content delivery. Content delivery should be very less. For addressing the errors and clearing the confusions. So it means that teaching is more about giving the opportunity for the students to learn on their own. When they come back, have reflections and address some errors or address some confusions. Next, so first T we have addressed over here. Then E, what is this? Engage learners in higher level thinking. So I'm sure by this time everybody is familiar with Bloom's taxonomy. So if I have used some words like developing, summarizing, creating, analyzing, something like that. So we all are familiar with these words, HOTS and LOTS. Higher order thinking skills, lower order thinking skills. So I'm addressing this with Bloom's taxonomy. So engage your learners to have some higher order of skills acquiring during their learning process and not in your teaching process. I really love this particular A. So in the entire 5 lines, the most preferred one is the assessing. Assess understanding of learners, whether they have understood. So when we say assessment, then there are 2 types of assessment. One is formative. Can anybody tell me next?
Summative.
Very good. Next is summative. Formative is normally done frequently. Might be after the lecture, after the unit, after the lesson. Summative is at the end. They do have some different purposes, but today's session is not on assessment, formative, summative, evaluation, and all those concepts. But one thing I would like to convey over here is assessment is very essential. Yes, please.
Toolbar is appearing on your slide. Just some problem.
Is it?
Just toolbar
no, sir. I am not able to see any toolbar. No. The slide is clear to us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well going.
I can check it at my end. Okay, thank you.
For me, it is completely a white screen where on the left hand side there is a word teach. The toolbar is not, I'm not able to see toolbar on my screen, in fact.
No, sir, there is no toolbar.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So
it's
next
clear,
is students. Yes, any question?
No, sir, everything is clear now. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So next is challenge students with complex examples, problems, case studies, or activities. Somebody will say, oh sir, why are you talking about complex example? Our students are not even capable of these things. Isn't it? Yes, many places we find that the students are not even capable of simple. But start with simple and go gradually towards complex. It really helps. Sometimes you have a design problem. So design can be anything. You can have a design of a network. You can have design of a heat exchanger. You can have design of a process equipment in chemical engineering. Sometimes it can be design of particular software. It's a complex kind of an example. Give the task assigned to a group of students instead of one student. Let them work. Give them some time and do a mentoring. So I will address to faculty roles eventually, but this is very important. So teaching, I have not talked about the conventional mode of delivering contents. I have not mentioned it over here. The last is also very, very important. How many of you have helped the students beyond the classroom? Beyond the classroom ka matlab kya hai? What is this meaning? It can be anything. Problems. Yes, anybody would like to share beyond the classroom?
So it is just like mentoring actually to solve their psychological, to solve their personal problems also, apart from the teaching learning process.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Absolutely right. Anything else? Other participants?
Giving them extra inputs which are
like.
Yes, extra inputs. Great.
Which are beyond the textbook learning process.
Yes.
Exposing them to library, exposing them to journals, exposing exploiting them to read, or propagating them for knowledge learning process.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Or their
Sir, some
application.
students are
Application
extraordinary.
of
They wanted
concepts.
the extra knowledge beyond the subject or the academics. So we can help them.
Oh yes.
As
Extra knowledge. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that.
helping weak students.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Some students basically they want what exactly placed in between the two lines. That space between the two lines mentioned in the book. They want what exactly there.
Okay. So between the readings, between the two lines, the reading is also important. Sometimes we need to go for that. Yes.
Yes.
Connecting them to the industry people for the application of the concepts.
Very good. So you can go beyond and connect them with the live problems, industrial problems. Very good.
So career counseling.
Career counseling. Very good. Competitive exams, career counseling, higher education.
Depending upon the scenario,
Yes, please.
proctoring is also expected, but this depends upon the overall circumstances.
Okay. Yes.
It's not that
Sometimes
every faculty. It's not that every faculty can be a Superman or Superwoman. So there are limitations from faculty side also. But within the bounds of available resources and capacity, what are best we can do beyond the curriculum or the enrichment of the student, I think that is expected under H, help students.
Very rightly said. Very rightly said.
Hello.
Yes, please.
So at times we need to move into the domain of the student's thought process. Many times they are engaged in the cafeteria or the playgrounds or the other curricular activities. So we need to shift in that domain at times and again come back to our content so that makes them happy.
So sometimes you need to go even to that level, isn't it?
Yes,
good
sir.
one.
Yes,
Good.
Yes, sir. Sir, embedding the professional skills and affective domain as well as the attitude part while doing the professional career to the student is very important. That will help in long run to the students.
Yes, thank you, Manoj sir, for that. चलिए अब आगे चलते हैं. Now, when we look at innovative kind of teaching, then we do have normal way of teaching. Everybody is following normal way of teaching. Then why really we should go for innovative methods of teaching? Why? Or I have a lecture, I can prepare my lecture, I will go virtual or I will go physical, deliver it, blah, blah, blah. If there's an experiment to be conducted, let the students conduct the experiment. I will evaluate the journal or file or papers or assignments. This is what is really required. Why this innovative teaching is required? So why should I really go for it? So I would like to have answers from you.
Keeping the engagement at a higher level.
Yes. This is basically required to improve the effectiveness in teaching learning process.
Improving the effectiveness.
It's because there is a difference in the. Okay. Sir, you please continue.
Yes. Okay. As we are already in information is everybody can easily access any kind of technology, information, knowledge through their smart devices, right? So students are more proactive and they are ready to learn in advance before coming to class. In those cases, if the teacher is not coming with innovative teaching methods or in a new knowledge, so that may not be that much effective. So that's why the teacher has to go for innovative teaching.
Right. So ma'am was talking something. Thank you, sir, for this information.
Yes, sir. There is a difference in the. There is a difference in the.
Sir, please wait.
Let madam complete.
Let the ma'am complete. Huh?
There is a difference in the intelligence level of all the students. There is also the attention span coming into picture. So we have to have some innovative teaching methods.
Great. Thank you, ma'am, for that. Yes, somebody was talking with me.
Happy sir, Suryan sir here. Yeah.
Yes, Suresh sir.
Yeah, I think many times students look for some ideal, right? Ideal person, right? So that ideality always has to be what you can say. We can showcase through this particular innovative teaching that they always keep in mind the ideality of the faculty, right now. So maybe during their education or later on also.
Yes, so some idealism is also required to be shown. We also should be proven to be ideal person to them sometimes. Yes. So I'm just looking at the responses. I have just put some options. These are not the real one, not the ultimate one, but just to get your feedback, I have put in some of the options. So I'm just sharing what have you responded with. So somebody saying need of the institute or department, self-evaluation, effective assessment. On the higher side, 13, 14 of you are saying need to engage students effectively. 16 of you are saying better content delivery and effective learning. Okay. So 30, 40, 47. So almost 50% of you have voted. So this is another feature of Mentimeter. So earlier we have seen there's a word cloud which was created. Now this is the pie chart which is getting created. So you can use it very effectively. Let your students also get involved into it. They will also feel what is, they will feel that yes, whatever I'm contributing, it is also getting reflected with on the screen for the benefit of all. So thank you for these votes. So innovative teaching is really required for, in fact, most of this reason. The number one predominant is better delivery, effective learning, and engaging the students more effectively along with effective assessment. Sometimes we go for self-evaluation. Let that need of the institute or department should not be the reason for innovative teaching. The innovative teaching has to be done because I feel my session to be very impactful. I want to create that presence of me and create that impact. So I'm just going back, going into the presentation again. Okay. So moving ahead now. Why innovative teaching? I'm giving you a few seconds of time to read this. This is the paragraph which is plagiarized. I have plagiarized this paragraph. I want somebody of you to reflect on this paragraph. From where exactly I have copied this. Read this and tell me from where exactly I've copied this. Copy paste word to word, plagiarized 100% plagiarism.
The NAC instructions, I think.
NBA criteria 5. I am handling it.
Okay, so you are in charge of NBA criteria 5. That is why you can easily find it out. This is in fact NBA criteria 5 and for tier 1. So most of us are familiar with NBA criteria. This is tier 1 NBA criteria number 5, and from where I have copied word to word. Now why this? Why I have copied this? Because there have been some reasons why this innovative teaching is also required to be formalized. If we are documenting innovative teaching learning methodologies, then what are the important aspects? You are going to get evaluated by NBA, even by sometimes NAC, but NBA does give a lot of thrust. 200 points criteria number 5 tier 1 NBA, and wherein innovative teaching is one of the most important aspect. So I'm just addressing few minutes to this particular slide. So the activities, how, which, and when the activities are planned, what are the important aspects of it? First, use of ICT. Now, by this time, everybody is using ICT, so it doesn't make a big impact at all. So I'm not paying attention to use of ICT. Instruction delivery. Now, this is again very important aspect. How do we deliver the instructions? Is it into a direct conventional mode, or you are delivering the instructions to YouTube live channel, Facebook, Google Classroom, or you are using a flipped classroom method? How the instructions are delivered? So this is really required to get documented. You should also know the different ways of instructional delivery. Then instructional methods. So you can have co-teaching, you can have peer teaching, you can have peer learning. Many ways of instructional methods are there which practically the faculty members are using. Find out which are those instructional methods which are popular and plan your innovative teaching methodologies accordingly. Then there are two very important keywords. Number one is assessment, number two is evaluation. So those who have been teaching since many years, they can very easily find out the difference between assessment and evaluation. Sorry to tell you that, but I have interviewed more than say around 1,000 faculty members for recruitment, and almost 70% of faculty members are not exactly aware of assessment and evaluation. Assessment is normally done periodically to check at regular interval of time how your teaching is getting delivered and what is the understanding level of the students. Evaluation is done at the end of your course, and both this assessment and evaluation are to be documented properly, planned properly if you are using these innovative teaching methodologies. So each and every session should have the assessment. Then last is inclusive classrooms. So inclusive classroom is, this is what presently we are doing. Everybody is getting included. Might be in the form of by using Mentimeter, you are unmuting your mics. If the chat would have been enabled, you would have used chat box option also. So a lot of things are important from NBA perspective also. There is one important reason why this slide has been shown, because you conduct all these activities, but at the same time, your institute will ask for the records, the documents. So कहाँ से लाएंगे, कैसे करेंगे? Everything is over here. So you can go to NBA website and download this SAR. Everybody is familiar with SAR. Download SAR, go to criteria number 5, and you will find this text. Okay? So we have seen now the importance of innovative teaching, the connect with NBA documentations also. So this is not the question to you. What are the roles of a teacher in a classroom? No question for you. The question is going to come in the next slide. So there are various faculty roles. Somebody was talking about mentoring, monitoring, isn't it? But apart from that, there are many roles of a faculty member. So being a teacher is not a simple task. It requires many dimensions, too many dimensions. Look at this, still it's flowing. So many roles are there, faculty roles. I want some of you to reflect upon this hardship. Can anybody give me the example of a traffic cop? Faculty role is a traffic cop. Yes, please.
To give proper direction to the learners, actually, that the way in which they have to travel, the proper way the teacher should tell to all this whatever the learners or the students who are participating in his or her whatever the teaching learning process, that should be done, sir.
Okay, giving the guidelines, giving the directions. Okay, thank you.
Monitoring their attendance and monitoring their progress. And if they don't submit the assignments on time, just fine them.
Okay, so थोड़ा सा मैम आपने जो कहा है, I would like to just extend it. So taking a stick in your hand, am I right?
Yes.
कभी-कभी डंडा भी मारना चाहिए. Punishment sometimes, isn't it? Thank you for that.
Most disciplined teachers are always remembered.
Yes, I must agree with you, but unfortunately there are few faculty members or teachers who feel if I become more strict, then my feedback will go down. मेरी हालत थोड़ी खराब हो जाएंगी. But you will never imagine the way I have given punishment to my students. They will remember it for their lifetime. So you can give punishment. Students should enjoy the punishment, understand the pain, and improve.
Yes, sir. True.
To make them disciplined, sir.
Correct. Putting them into discipline mode. Correct. थोड़ा सा I would like to make the question very complex, a little bit complex, not more complex. Can anybody tell me what do you understand by devil's advocate? Don't go to google.com and then search. Quickly tell me what is devil's advocate.
Informing them what are the right and what are wrong and guiding them in a good for the future, correct, in a correct way.
Not in fact, sorry to say that, but devil's advocate is something different.
If somebody is already in the wrong direction,
okay.
Hello? If somebody is in the wrong direction, so beyond classroom guidance, a teacher should advise him for his personal development.
Not in fact, devil's advocate is something different. Thank you for sharing.
Sir, is it criticizing and firing a student?
That will come as a traffic cop.
Okay.
Let me explain you
So
what is
doing
devil's
the doing the advocacy of some challenging work, whatever the students are doing, supporting them in that activities actually.
Okay, but devil's advocate is still something different.
Okay.
Is it, sir, telling the students the real scenario of life? It is because many times we are right, but the actual situation in life is very different. You should tell the truth.
Okay. Let me tell you what in a simple word devil's advocate is. Let us say you ask a question to a class that what are the basic reasons that the coronavirus is getting spread in India so fast? Very open-ended question. So you start with the open-ended question. Understand devil's advocate, how this role or this activity is performed by faculty as a devil's advocate. So you ask a very generic question. What are the reasons that this coronavirus is getting spread so fast in India? Open-ended question. So the student stands and says, sir, it is because the negligence of people in India. He might be right, but you go against the student. Devil's advocate is you advocate devil, not to your student. So you are doing advocacy for a devil. So you are going against that student and say, no. What I feel, okay, this can be one of the reasons, but most importantly, it is because the awareness was not there by the health agencies. Now the student will say, no, sir. The awareness was there, but government started propagating it late. But again, you said, okay, but I feel that government has done it right. So you start going against what the student is telling you, but in a positive way to promote the next thought process. So this is devil's advocate. So go against the student's answer, but for the intention, for the motive to get more from the student. So I'm just telling few examples. I can teach for 3 hours on this only one slide. But today the target for me is not to take singles and doubles to go for 4 and 6s. So I have to play the role of Rohit Sharma as opening batsman. So I have to go forward. Next question. So what do you understand by Generation Z? So those who are from the English accent background, or those for the American peoples, they call it Generation Z. But in India, we call it as Generation Z. आपण आपल्या भाषेत Generation Z म्हटलं तरी चालतं. So give me the answer. What do you understand by Generation Z?
Those who born after 1980s.
Those who born after 1980s. Okay. So somewhere you are very close to the answer, I must say, but not exactly. Come on, hurry up. I think you have taken out your mobile phones to scan this QR code, or you might have gone to menti.com and used the code 931785. Let me also go to menti.com and let us see what answers have we given. So I've taken few seconds pause over here. I hope everybody is enjoying this menti.com. Scan karo, answer do. So as I was discussing, I am not allowing you to sit idle. सबको काम मिलेगा, बहुत काम मिलेगा. So everybody will be busy.
Gen Z means we can.
Yes.
Gen Z. We can include the age between 18 to 30. I hope.
Okay. So let us see what answers the participants have given. So it's getting loaded. Okay. So many answers. School students, young generation. Let me go to next. Generation Z. Okay, still some answers are coming. This looks very dynamic. The graphs are dynamic and your students will enjoy this because they will feel, okay, when I answer, it is getting recorded and then the graphs are getting changed. So this is live graph example. So earlier menti.com, we have seen a pie chart. Before that, we have seen a word cloud. Now we are looking at a bar chart. So keep voting, keep voting.
Sir,
so 9 of you are school students. Yes, please.
While coming to these answers, when we are looking, better option is the word cloud only, because every participants, they're given their own phrase or some word, right? So that may not be exactly represent these one of these options, right? In the word cloud, you can find exactly what has scribbled by the presenter.
Sir, it depends on the learners, depends on the teacher, depends on the content, depends on the question which you are asking. So this is open-ended question, and if I take this question generation Z into a word cloud, then people will definitely not have the option, because many of us are not really familiarized with the word generation Z. So in that case, this, if I can have 5 options, then it is easy for the participants to vote for any of them which they feel closer. So sometimes you have to go for a bar chart. So word cloud is very good for open-ended questions, but sometimes you really have to go for bar chart, or pie chart or donut chart, even for the open-ended questions, giving certain options for the participants to think. Okay, so 11 of you are saying school students, 22 are saying young generation, 15 saying born between 97 to 2012, and 15 are saying millennial learners. 4 of you are saying age above 60 years. Okay, I'm going back to the presentation mode now. Going out of it. So I think most of you have voted. If I look at the total count, then 20 plus 33, 39, 49, 53, 58, 68. So 68 of you have voted. But if I look at the count in the session, then the count in the session is definitely above 100, 164. So 100 have still not voted. So my request to all is that this is a participative kind of thing. This is nothing harm. कुछ डरने वाली बात तो है नहीं. तुक्का तो लगाना है, गेस तो करना है. So please keep on voting so that you also feel that yes, you are also involved in the learning process, isn't it? Okay. So what is Generation Z? Generation Z are the students now what we are teaching to them. So they are born between 97 to 2012. So they are presently in the age groups of 90 to 23 years old. This is a typical generation which is having a least amount of attention span. They are sometimes very highly volatile. They are very highly fascinated towards gadget, especially mobile tabs, laptops, television screens, they are sometimes very keen, very focused towards what they really would like to achieve. Sometimes you will find that Generation Z do have some disconnect with the higher generation, might be their parents, their siblings, or even with a lower generation. So sometimes this disconnect is also observed. So you have to be very, very careful in teaching to the students, because you are now in Generation Z. Earlier, might be say 10 years back, we were teaching to millennial learners. Millennial learners, when we came across, there was a big challenge. All right, this is the generation which was born in the era of internet. The internet just started, and they developed themselves in the era of television, internet. So some challenge for attention, because they were attention-seeking generation, and also we have seen that their attention span was least. But now Generation Z attention span is very, very less. So if I have to give you numbers, so to be very precise, if I have to count in seconds, so if it is 12 seconds for millennial learners, then 9 seconds for Generation Z, continuous seconds where they can capture, and in between they lose, then they connect, disconnect. But if it is like this, Generation Z versus millennial learners, so how many generations are there? So this is just for your information that we have varieties of generations right now present with us, right from baby boomers, Generation Jones, Generation X, Zennials, Millennials, Generation Z, and now the next one is coming up, Generation Alpha, very highly volatile, isn't it? So some of you might have your own kids in Generation Alpha. Observe them. They are going to be your students. So I'm not going to take more time on this. This is just the introduction of the generations. So when we start teaching to them, we start speaking. So when we speak, they hear and they forget. But when they see and when they hear, they may remember a little. So it is not only the words. Words are counting to get forget. But when we add see into it, they starts remembering. But whenever there is a asking of the question or discussing something, today they are asking question, discussing something, then the beginning of understanding starts, or rather understanding begins over there. But when there is a hear, see, discuss, do so many things, then the learner starts acquiring knowledge and skills. So in today's session, you have so many things to do. Take out mobile, click, find out graphs, read, so many things, isn't it? When I teach another, I master. So if you give your students a chance to teach, then they will become master. So start doing something in a class. Get your learners engaged. कुछ तो करना है. Now I am assigning you a task, very simple task. Okay, and I am going to write something on a board. I will give you hardly 3 minutes. So this is not getting visible properly. Okay, so I would like to go to the next slide, and this is the task for you. Okay, challenges in innovative teaching. So take out your paper and a pen. Take out your paper and a pen. You can list down 3, 4, 5 challenges. It can be short sentence, 3, 4 words, or it can be single word. Start writing. You can write the learners are not interested. We do not have infrastructure. I don't know the technology. I have never heard about innovative teaching. Whatever blah 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 you can write. You can write on a paper, take a photograph, and send it on a WhatsApp group. So I am looking at my mobile, and your time starts now. Start writing your opinion about this. What are the challenges in innovative teaching? So I am now on a WhatsApp group. I would like to see what you are typing. So sorry, what you are writing on a paper and sending a photo of it. Hurry up. So if I look at the WhatsApp group now, okay, thank you Outer sir for helping. You have helped out Menti.com and the code. Okay, hurry up, hurry up. It's only 3 minutes. You do not have to write paragraph. Write few words, 1 or 2 lines, take a photo, send it on WhatsApp group. Remember, you have to write challenges, isn't it? So what are the challenges which you see? Okay, I'm getting some answers now. Technical problem, language problem, short span. I want you to reflect on WhatsApp group. Even if you would like to type on WhatsApp group, you can type. There's a background noise from somebody's mic. Okay, lot of attentiveness of students, lack of attentiveness of students, lack of participation, inability to connect, technical problems. Concepts are known to us. It is challenge to explain the students in quick way in small time. Great. Good, good, good. Network problem, interactions are less, short of eye contact. Okay. Distractions in environment, very good. Class control, technical issues during online, lack of knowledge to use teaching aids. Language problems, yes, very rightly said. Who's saying this? Language problem? Shivanand sir is saying, okay, sometimes we keep on talking in English, but learners are not able to capture. Isn't it? Technical issues during online, class control, limited time for delivery, Prakash Sutar sir is saying. Then interactions, Suryanshi sir is saying lack of knowledge of technologies, lack of training, lot of other administrative work. Great. Self-interest, okay. Maya ma'am saying is handling 21st century learners. Yes, Vibho sir is saying teaching aids are not really available, okay. Santosh Lukre sir is saying lack of innovative methods, knowledge, students, ignorance, lack of connectivity. Ananta sir is saying attendance of students might be very poor. VD Patil sir is saying taking the things casually. Yes, very rightly said. Very rightly said. Atul Kumar sir is saying completion of syllabus content. Very, very rightly said, sir. हमको तो syllabus cover करना है. What are you talking about? Innovative methods. Very rightly said. Swapnil sir is saying network connectivity not able to understand due to less interaction. Okay, distance between pen and pencil. Okay. Connectivity, some things are common. Anxiety in learning, network problems. So this is very good that you are typing, posting some things on WhatsApp group. So those participants who have missed this session, they will come to know there are hundreds of messages. Something has happened really today. Shahane sir is saying lack of. Yes, please.
Yeah, I want to add one thing. Too much of teaching load to one faculty. This is happening. One of my friends who is working in one of the best B schools, private B schools. So 5-6 subjects in a week, and then per day minimum 4 lectures, something. New faculty, imagine.
This is also not correct. Very rightly said, sir. This is also a hindrance for innovative teaching. So the teacher will start delivering the contents only. That is the teaching for himself or herself. Prasad Bhaviskar sir is also saying that distraction media is available on phones, inability to understand network problems smartly posted by students. Very rightly said, Prasad sir, for point number 3. Sham Mughal sir is saying technical problems. Yes, too many things. Okay. Doing engineering by force. Sachin Chede sir is saying yes, very rightly said. I can find out around 15-20% more than that also. Doing engineering by force. Implementation is the problem. Pawan sir is saying. Kunal Shinde sir is saying lack of knowledge to use teaching aids. Yes, very rightly said. Okay. So in the meantime, somebody is leaving the groups also. Great. So as the time availability is also a constraint for me, so I'm limiting myself to this thing only. Great. Okay, there is something different group also. Okay, there is second group. I was not able to see that. Okay, not so easy to understand. And then teacher's mindset. Somebody is Dr. Vikash Shinde has posted by using some typed matter. Teacher's mindset, choice of technology, sustainable change, generation gap. Manoj sir is saying poor response from students. D.D. Shinde sir is saying merit of 12 students. Sir, you are looking after the admission, you are working as an admission in charge, so I know how important is that merit of 12 students. So the student at 45% is entering into engineering, that might be a problem. I cannot see the chat box in Microsoft Teams. Yes, it has been disabled. Okay, and something recently posted by Professor Arnab Ganguly. Okay, so many things have been written. Infrastructure, student not interested, lab infra, lack of time, great. So no appreciation for introducing new online platform teaching aids. Great, great, great. So many things. So I'm stopping looking into now this WhatsApp. Dr. Meenakshi is saying promotion of new tools and awareness. Nitin Patel sir is saying lack of hands-on experience. Pawan sir is saying if new subject is allotted, then it would be difficult to focus on innovations. So please keep your mic muted.
I know.
Sir, can you please keep your mic muted? Thank you. So these are the challenges, and every challenge is very, very important. Most of all, I would like to go to presentation itself. So I'm minimizing it. So some of the challenges from our side, if I look at it, because I don't look at the internet connectivity, the fake reasons, the students' perspective. Unfortunate students, if they are not able to actually give the correct reasons. Some key reasons is lack of knowledge. So many of the faculty members are not aware of what are innovative teaching methods. Lack of resources. So we do not have resources. So if you can see from my video, I'm going to show you this. This is what I'm using. So this is a pen, and this pen tab I'm using to just keep writing something on the screen. And it looks good because this is something which we should use. So this is it. This is the pen tab which I'm using. So lack of resources is one of the things. Lack of support might be from the faculty or from the peers, from the department, from the institute, whatever it is. Students' attention is also one of the reason for challenges in innovative teaching. Of course, this can be addressed separately. There are so many things which we can do in students' attention. Infrastructure, we do not have a lab in our college for innovative teaching. We do not have flexible sitting in a classroom. The willingness of the faculty member is also a predominant reason why we are not going for innovative teaching. और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि हमें तो exposure ही नहीं है. So we should have the exposure. Now today you are attending this FDP, so the exposure has started because there have been some innovative things which we are going to learn eventually. So definitely exposure is required. Keep communicating. Start attending some FDPs, STTPs, workshops, seminar. Attend some webinars. Learn on your own. Search on Google. You will find so many things which are really required to be implemented as innovative teaching. Tomorrow's session will be completely packed on various methods of innovative teaching. Professor Manoj will be talking, demonstrating, getting you involved into all those tools, teaching tools, methodologies, techniques. Today also I'll be demonstrating, but for a very short span of time because my task which is assigned to me is addressing challenges. So in spite of these challenges, what I feel is that the most important thing is willingness and exposure. So if we have the willingness, we can definitely acquire knowledge with whatever the available resources we will be able to deliver. Even if you do not have a support, doesn't make a difference. I am sitting in my home, and in my home also I can do it. So I have a laptop, I have a mobile phone. So I do not have internet connectivity at my home. So this is the source of internet connectivity. I'm using my mobile phone. I do not have a separate audio system, so you can look at this. What is this? Can anybody tell me? What is this in my hand? Are you able to see my video?
Yes,
Saregama Karwa. Saregama Karwa.
Yes, this is Carva, and this Carva is getting used in this session to listen to you. So whatever is available with you, you can use it. So I'm using a simple pen. At the same time, I'm using this notebook, keeping the notes of whatever you are talking about. A simple 400 rupees mouse. So whatever is there, use the resources and start practicing. The most important factor is start practicing from now. Acquiring the knowledge is a gradual process. Today you have started it. I must appreciate you for that. Okay. The next task to you is this one. Please read this. You have to identify the correct statements. So as the chat is not available, chat is disabled. So you can either start speaking or you can have the correct number. Somebody will say 3, 5, and 8. Somebody will say 1, 2, 5, and 7. So keep typing those numbers in a WhatsApp. So I will use it as a chat box. Identify the correct statements. In the meantime, I have received message from Vijay Patil sir. Happy to get your message after 3 years, sir. I was not knowing you are also participating. Staff members may use different methods. This may cause confusion. Yes, very rightly said, Patil sir. But in the meantime, I'm looking at the chat box. Okay, 5, 5, 6, 5, and 8, 5. Acha, Shivanand sir is saying attendance link. I'm not very sure who is going to send that attendance link. 5, 8, 5, 8, 3, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 3, and 8. Okay, so most of you are opting for 3, 5, 8. Somebody is opting for 6, 7 also. Okay, great. So many of you are putting your answers. I have to go to other group also. 3, 5, 6, 8, 3, 5, 5, 8, 3, 1, 3, 8. Okay, so 3 and 6. Great. So the answers are coming so fast that I'm not able to share the names of the faculty members who are giving these answers. So I have 17 last minutes to wind up my session, so I need to hurry up. Three, 5, 8, 1, 5, 8, 5 and 8, 3 and 5, 3, 4, 6, 8. Great. Okay. So looking at the time constraint now, again, I'm going back to the session. So let me encircle the most preferred answers, 3, 5, 8. Some of you are also saying 4 and somebody is saying number 1. So what is the correct answer to this? So if identifying the correct statement is consent, so none of the statement is correct. Let me clarify this. None of the statement is correct. All of them is our assumption. It's a myth which we can have. Somebody is saying, most of you are saying 5. So let me clarify this. Good teaching means good learning. Absolutely not essential. So good teaching is essential. But for good learning, you also have to do so many things. The number one most important thing is assess. Unless and until you assess, even if you do a good teaching, it doesn't make a big impact. It is not ensuring learning. You also required to mentor. You also have to play the role of traffic cop. So all these things are required. So number 5 is not the correct statement. Somebody is saying number 8. So we'll go to number 8. PPTs and videos are innovative methods of teaching. Surely not. PPTs and videos are conventional methods of teaching. Conventional. So I'm not talking about e-learning. talking about classroom learning, classroom teaching. Classroom में हम लोग बोलते हैं sir I have used PPT, most innovative method. Sorry, it is not like that. Sir, I have shown videos. I am very sorry to say that video lecturing, there is a separate 1 hour session which I conduct. Video lecturing, how it is to be done? What do you understand by LED? What is reflection spot? How videos are to be created? How assessment is done after the videos? That is important. If you show a video for 5 minutes and if you say this is innovative way of teaching, you are absolutely wrong. Today I have around 20 videos to show you, but I am not showing you a single video. So this is absolutely not correct. Number 3 is also not correct. If the content is good, students will learn. No, definitely not that. Content must be good. Sometimes contents are very complex. Then also students learn because the teacher is creating that impact. All right, this is going to be very easy. Let us learn along with me so that complex things also become very, very simple, isn't it? So none of the statement is absolutely correct. Some things, some way, somebody said, okay, let us say number 6. Students will let the teacher know if they do not understand. So very few students will let you know. Most of them will be passive. Okay. Now, in the remaining time, I would like to take you to one small example of a flipped classroom. So, most of you might have heard this word flipped classroom. So those who have actually used a flipped classroom, they can unmute themselves and talk with me, or they can chat in the WhatsApp group. You simply have to type Y in the chat box. If you have used flipped classroom, if you have practiced flipped classroom, then type Y in WhatsApp group. Let me see how many of you have actually used. Yes, there is a mic on from some faculty members. So if you would like to speak, you can unmute, or else keep your mic muted. Okay, so there are 2 Ys, 3, 4 in fact. So Vijay Patil sir, Manoj Balwankar sir, Supriya ma'am, Ravita Patil, Professor Ravita, 4 of you have used out of say 160. Okay, so I would like to take quickly a few minutes to explain you what exactly is a flipped classroom. So if I have to make a comparison with traditional versus flipped classroom, in a traditional classroom, what is there? The teacher teaches to students. In a flipped classroom, so this is traditional, what we are understanding. In a flipped classroom, what happens? There are students who teaches students. So students teaching to students, and the teacher is standing over here. The teacher is mentoring, teacher is observing, teacher is assessing, teacher is demonstrating, teacher is doing the role of a traffic cop in a flipped classroom. So flipped classroom is a classroom where you give in advance some learning resources to the students. Mostly if you go to internet, observe it, you will find that the contents are given to the students in the form of videos. Give some time, 2 days, 3 days. Form the groups, let the students learn. They will come prepared in the classroom and they will demonstrate. So this is what we have learned. And then the acquiring the knowledge becomes very, very easy, very fast for them. Then the teacher is observing, okay, this is done correctly or not, if required, some minor corrections. So how about flipped classroom in e-learning? In online learning also, give a time of 4 or 5 days depending on the content. Provide some learning resources to the students, form the groups, ask a particular date. Let us say you may give some 17th of May is a day where there will be flipped classroom. Group number 1, 2, 3 and 5 will present. Each group will have 5 minutes. So within 20 minutes, this presentation should be completed. Remaining 20 minutes will be given for discussion. So 20 plus 20, 40 and remaining 20 will be your own time. So this is how it is normally done in a flipped classroom. So give certain time to the students to learn, present themselves, let them brainstorm. On e-learning platform also, it is very easy for you to do it. You can quickly share the contents, but let us say this is today is day 1, the presentation is there on day 7. So what is to be done by the teacher between 1 and 7? So your role is to play the role of mentors. So you have to continuously mentor the students. So teacher will be mentoring the students from day 1 to day 7. Ask them question, provide them sufficient resources, help them clarify their doubt, and then only they will come and deliver it. Remember, flipped classroom is something like a bouncer in a cricket. So in a over of 6 balls, every ball cannot be a bouncer. क्यों? Bouncer इतना खतरनाक बॉल डालते तो हर एक all the 6 balls cannot be bouncer. Why? Oh, this is a cricket question. क्या हुआ?
The bouncer is supposed to be unplayable delivery, and if you are sending all the bouncers, the batsmen have no choice to leave it alone. So if you are using all the time bouncers, then batsmen have tendency to leave it alone. So in a same context, in a flipped classroom, every time if you are using, the students may not be interested. So I think the message or the question has this answer.
Very
That
rightly.
flipped classroom has to be used wisely. That's it.
Very wisely and very rarely also. This is a tool. So in an over of 6 balls, first can be something which is a bouncer, second can be Yorker, a third can be a full toss. So every variety should be there. There is one more delivery called as a Dusra, very famous. Dusra has to be actually used only once in a match. So flipped classroom is something very rarely to be used, not frequently. So assigning the roles to the students, give certain videos. Remember that the video length has to be very less, 5 to 8 minutes only. And within this short video, the students will acquire the sufficient knowledge. Remember that the video should not be downloaded from the YouTube and given it. Sometimes very, very rarely you can give a link of YouTube. Otherwise, your content should be your own contents. You can have video created at your own side also. So you have varieties of tools. Most of you might have used this OBS as video editing tool. And of course, there are so many, which I will just share in few slides after this. So create your own contents and then give. Now you can see that flipped classroom is something which you cannot do every day. So because you also really required to create your own contents. In the learning material, whether we should always give videos or something else, there is no hard and fixed rule. You can give anything. You can give something like PPT. You can give some PDF document, Word document. You can have even podcast, that is audio file. You can give anything as the learning material, isn't it? Next, flip side of flipped classroom. Flipped classroom की दूसरी बाजू क्या है? What is that which is on the other side of the flipped classroom? Is it so going to be very, very powerful? No. There are some lacunas, there are some limitations. Let us say there are 4 groups. Group number 1 will learn only the contents which you have assigned to those groups. Group number 2 same, group number 3 same, group number 4 also will learn only a part of it, whereas they will not learn the entire thing. So this is one very important flip side. Second flip side, whenever you are using flipped classroom, please keep a check on a time, because flipped classroom may go 2-3 hours and it becomes very boring. Number 3, involvement of all the students. Let us say only 3 groups are presenting. What other students are doing? They are either passive or they are chit-chatting, throwing the balls, papers, flying the aeroplanes, or if it is an online mode, they will be switching off the camera, then going to sleep, isn't it? So there is always a flip side of the flipped classroom. Please take care if you are using flipped classroom in your as an innovative teaching methodology. So I have last 6 minutes in my hand. So what are the online tools which you require for flipped classroom? You can use so many things. I I've just used few of them. Podomatic, TuneIn. This is for podcasting. Those who are not doing podcasting, it is something like you create your own audio files and then transmit those files to the students. So you start talking and students will listen. Then for video streaming, you can use Eco 360, or for creating of the videos from your screen from laptop, you can use Snagit, Screencast-O-Matic. You can stream those videos from YouTube Live, or you can have your Facebook Live. You can share your PDF Word files on a Google Classroom. Tomorrow's session, you will be learning some of these tools, actually demonstrating these tools. Today's my task is to creating that awareness, creating that importance. आज आप सब लोगों को एक बात सब समझ में आ रही है कि why this innovative teaching is important, what are the different aspects to it, what are the roles of the faculty, how we can do it, whether it is really possible or not. But I know that there are some questions which are there ticking in your mind. So I definitely would like to take some time for question answer. And there is one slide which I'm skipping it now. And there are so many slides like fishbowl. Because of time limitation, I'm skipping it out. Some active engagement tips also I'm skipping out. But quickly, I would like to take you through it. Ice breaking, do something ice breaking. कुछ ना कुछ तो होना चाहिए where you can start very nicely. Like I started which asking you a question whether the slide is visible, which was something where I did not show you. So you can start anything. Have some reflection spots where students will comment, your learners will comment. Give some micro break. I have given you micro break in today's session by showing you some slides, asking you questions. I have asked you to write or draw something. Yes, you have actually written something and then posted on the WhatsApp group. And there are so many others. Okay. So now this is a time for asking questions. So last 3 minutes are there as per the timeline, and your questions, please.
All right, participants are requested to ask any questions. If they can unmute themselves and start asking.
Hello, okay, sir. In the meantime, you can rate the session also.
Good afternoon,
sir. Yes, good afternoon, please.
Suryan sir here. So
yes,
what we have seen in the online, what we have seen in the online classes that we ask the student to join, say for example, session is at 10 a.m. We ask them to join 5 minutes before, right? And
yes.
Then later on we see that, okay, say out of 60, maybe 50 students join, and maybe 5-10 students don't join, or those who join, that in that case also we can't give the quality of their attendance right now, even if suppose there is a, what you can say, the innovative or quality teaching is there. So how to deal with such a student, 10-15% students or 5-10% students?
Okay, it's a very, very important question which you have asked, and the most important role is traffic cop. So let me share you what I do in my class, because I conduct 2 classes, 2 different. The first one I teach to 3rd year civil, and the second one I teach to final year BTech mechanical. So there I've kept a practice. If the session is at 10 o'clock, then you can enter very freely in 5 minutes. 5 minutes down the line, the entry is stopped. So I use Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams does have the facility to stop the entry. So if you are using something else, so let us say you are using Zoom. So Zoom also you can enable the lobby or waiting room, and then in waiting room, whoever comes after 5 minutes will not be allowed. But if you are using Google Classroom, you may not have that facility. So what is really required to be done? You have a plugin for Google Classroom for attendance. Use it. You start a lecture at 10 o'clock. 5 minutes past 10 o'clock, you download the attendance. Attendance is automatically getting downloaded, and then you allow everybody. So in that case, what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 lectures, students will come late. And the small thing which you have to do is you observe who are those students who come late. It is slightly a tedious way, but few of the names you can start announcing them at the mid of the lecture, not at the start of the lecture. At the mid of the lecture, you can announce. Okay, I have a student number 1, 2, 3, 4. These students who have reported late in last 5 lectures. This is only for information. So naturally the students will feel I'm getting measured, I'm getting counted, I'm getting monitored. So you will not get 100% result, but you will get around 60-70% of the result. For remaining 10-20%, again, if you would like to have it, then you can find out that there can be 5 students who regularly come late, in spite of that facility of lobby, waiting room, फिर भी late आते. So for them, assign very complex problem, assign them difficult tasks. क्या करना है उनको? Let us say you are teaching them lesson number 1 or unit number 1. उनको क्या करना है? Lesson number 2 पे जाके उनको बोलना है कि you create a video, you create a PDF file, you create a PPT for this particular lesson. जितने भी लेट वाले उनको असाइन कर दो, give them 4-5 days time. Till that time, don't allow them to enter in your class. They will be permitted if they can only do it. उसके डबल बेनिफिट होते हैं. You get ready-made material in your hand. And second is they understand, okay, लेट आने के बाद में ऐसा सब कुछ करना पड़ता है. So there are varieties of way. 2 I have explained you. Of course, there are others also which can be used for the latecomers. Is anything else?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, there is a practical difficulty actually in this. Suppose we ask questions to few students in a particular lecture. It is observed that they remain absent for another 1 or 2 lectures, sir. So this is what is happening actually.
Yes.
And how can we assign them task and expect the second unit presentation from their side? That is a challenging task actually.
Yes, what you say is absolutely right. Those faculty members who are working in autonomous institutes or private universities, they can definitely assign internal assessment marks. So what is really required to be done? If you observe some student is remaining continuously absent, say, so if you're not asking question, please keep your mic muted. So there's a background noise. So let us say there is a day number 3 where you have asked a question, then day number 4, 5, 6, the student is absent, day number 8 appeared. So in this case, what is to be done? Whatever contents you have taught in these days, you float any questions or float a series of questions or a test and assign the marks to the students based on the contents which you have delivered. This is number 1. Number 2, do not deliver the contents right from the books or standard contents. Give something different than the contents which are present in the book. उससे क्या होगा? If the students are bunking continuously, remaining absent, students will definitely feel like something is getting disconnected. So eventually, there will be a difference. Okay, student will feel, okay, I'm losing something. So instead of coming at day number 8, I will better come at day number 5. So this is another trick for it. The next trick number 3 is give punishments. So you can give severe punishment if the student is remaining continuously absent. So there are varieties of way you can act as a mentor, inform to the parents, mark the students absent, detain the students, give less mark, stop for practical assessment, everything. So punishment is also required in present scenario. There is tool number 4. Whenever we are conducting parents meet, involve those parents, compulsorily ask them to come or give a call, send an email to the parents that we have observed that from lecture number 5 to lecture number 11, your ward is absent and he is absent because I have asked the question. You do not have to do it for 60 students or 80 students. You have to only do it for 2 to 3 students. Send a message to all those 80 students. ये सब सीधे हो जाते हैं. ट्रैफिक सिग्नल है, ट्रैफिक सिग्नल को क्रॉस करके एक बंदा मोटरसाइकिल लेके आगे चला गया, ट्रैफिक पुलिस ने पकड़ा, बाकी पीछे 50 लोग खड़े, 50 बाकी पीछे ही खड़े रहेंगे. Nobody will dare to go out. The traffic police is not going to punish everyone. He will punish only one. Okay? So I think these 4-5 tricks will work.
Can try definitely.
Hello, sir. This is Atre.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any digital feedback methods where we can ensure the learning has happened?
There are varieties of digital methods by which the learning has happened or not. We can check. One of the method which I am demonstrating it over here is use of this Mentimeter, because you collect certain answers. Secondly, you collect a feedback from the students orally. Third, you conduct various polls, quizzes. Tomorrow's session, Professor Manoj will be demonstrating some tools on which you can use for measuring the effectiveness of your session. So these are direct method. Indirect ways, like there is a test, might be mid-semester examination or class test, or whatever it is. So through which you can understand how many students have actually learned. The next number fourth is there are online tools like what we are using in our institute is a tool by AMCAT, where students answer the questions, subjective questions and MCQs, and from which also we come to know that students have answered might be unit number 2 very successfully, unit number 3 less, unit number 1 moderately. So we can identify, okay, unit number 2 I have explained very well, or unit number 2 is the simplest one. Unit number 3 can be very complex. So something like that also is possible, but most of these tools, analytical tools for understanding, are very costly. The institute has to pay money for that to get the exact idea of each student, each teacher, each course, each topic, each subtopic understanding level in a minutest detail. Otherwise, you can simply have the rough like this. So you can plot a graph and you can understand, but this is not the correct one. Sometimes students will give excellent, very good, bad, something like that. Well, this is the graph which I'm showing to you to give you the example that every time you cannot have feedback like session is excellent, very good, good, poor, bad. You cannot. Please have something which is different. So in this case, I have taken the feedback. First one is highly motivating and resourceful. Second is highly informative and inspiring. Third is just information sharing. Went above my head, upar se chala gaya. Needs lot of improvement. So this is not excellent, poor, bad. Your session can have a feedback in different methods also. Please have it. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I think my session time has been exceeded, but if last 1 or 2 questions, if it is possible, we can take it.
Sir, just I would like to add last thing to your answer.
Yes, sir, please add.
That online teaching learning tool understanding can be better also conducted by using the tool called as a GoToWebinar. And tomorrow I will be presenting at the end of the session regarding one of the report, and maybe there we can get how the learning can happen in a better manner. And these are the reports generated out of the regular lectures and practicals. So maybe that we can explain.
Well, thank you very much. I just forgot that GoToWebinar because it gives great amount of analytics. Which student is present for how much amount of time? What is the attentiveness time? Then how which question has been answered very effectively by which students? So very, very fruitful analysis is done by GoToWebinar. Thank you for adding, Manoj sir. Thank you.
I think softwares like Upgrad also have these kinds of provisions.
Yes, there are many softwares which have this kind of provisions. Yes, thank you. So I feel that there are no more questions. So I'm really thankful to you because you have been always participative in the session and supported a lot for your learning. Today I have not taught you anything. Today I have just initiated the thought process that today onwards you start learning the innovative practices, overcome the challenges, and even with whatever resources which you have, start practicing these best innovative methods because it is for yourself, not for the students. Do it for yourself, for your joy, for your satisfaction. At the end of the day, the teacher has to be very, very satisfied because I have delivered the best to my learners, to my students. So let that feeling be there with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also I would like to thank TBD COE for giving me this chance for coming over here and delivering this session. Thank you very much for it. Thanks a lot. Over to organizers.
Thank you, Hatya sir. This is Swapnil Aute again. It gives me great pleasure to thank you for this inspiring session titled Need and Challenges in Innovative Teaching. There was no doubt that the content was useful, but moreover, I would say the way you delivered it, that itself was a great example of how to keep participants engaged. That we really didn't come to know that more than 1.5 hours has passed since your session has started, and everybody can take a leaf or two out of this session. And this session was it gives justice to the of being the first session of this faculty development program on innovative teaching learning method. So this will be a great encouragement and inspiration to all of us, not only to listen to the next sessions, but to explore ourselves. What are the teaching methods? What innovations we ourselves can do, and so forth. So thank you for accepting our invitation and delivering such a beautiful session, sir.
Thank you. It's in fact, my pleasure, and thankful to all again once more. Thank you. Wish you all the best, all the participants.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So now I would like to give some instructions to the participants that the first session is formally over. For tomorrow's session will be conducted by Mr. Manoj Balwankar, sir. And he has requested to switch on the chat box for tomorrow's session, so we will be adhering to his requirements. Moreover, for all the session, we will be sharing the feedback forms after each session. It will be, as you all might be aware by this time, it will be a Google form which you have to fill, and that goes without saying that attendance in all 3 sessions is necessary for getting the certificate. So meanwhile, if you have any issues, any suggestions, you can always put it in the WhatsApp group, or you can chat with either with me or the main coordinator of this workshop, that is Dr. Arvind Kapse. Both of us are present in both the WhatsApp group. So if you want to chat with us privately, you can chat with us regarding any questions, any suggestions, or you can put it on the WhatsApp group as well. Let us maintain some sanctity on the WhatsApp group so that let us keep posting information which is going to add value in the communication of that group. So that's it from my side as far as organizers are concerned. So yes.
Sir, one important announcement has to be made to the participants. I'll make. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Participants are informed that the speaker for third session, Dr. Preeti Bhamre ma'am, wants to collect some data through a brief survey regarding few aspects of the way we engage students in the classroom interaction. So, Madam has already created a Google survey form for collecting this data from the participants. So, we'll be sharing this Google form on the WhatsApp group today. So, participants are kindly requested to respond to this Google form. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, there is one request from my side. After, sir, I have circulated one reference material for tomorrow's session. It is requested that if you can circulate to all the participants today, that will be great for tomorrow's session, because they can come up with some queries tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes.
So if I have to summarize some of the action points for the participant. So first of all, we as organizers will be sharing feedback form with you. Kindly fill it. Secondly, I will be sharing the reference material shared by Manoj Bhalwankar sir with you. So kindly go through it. Thirdly, we will also be sharing the survey form which is given to us by our third speaker, Dr. Bhamre. So you are requested to respond to that form as well. So these are 3 action points which we are expecting you to cooperate us. So Kapse sir, shall we conclude this session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Atya sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we are concluding this session. Let us meet tomorrow for the session which is scheduled at 10:30. I request everyone to join 5 minutes early. Thank you. Have a nice day.